we destroy each other in business, we go to war, in our sports, science, politics, religion. I mean, it's constantly dualistic.
Yeah.
It's constantly us against them. And Unity, this new film, is about, it picks up where Earthlings left off because it's showing us, hang on a minute. I mean, I think people are expecting me to make another documentary about animals.
Yeah.
Like, and a third of Unity is animals. I
But
can't
it's all
resist
connected.
myself. It's completely connected.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. These are different shapes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it doesn't matter if it's black or white, or
Right.
gay or straight, or Republican or Democrat, or rich or poor, or man or woman, or
Right.
man or animal. It doesn't matter. And as long as we keep seeing those opposites, we're going to be at war. 97% of recorded civilization has been at war. For what? I mean, I always say that you know, the wars being waged today, right now, this is 2009, will seem as meaningless to people 100 years from now as the medieval wars appear to you and I today. You just begin to say, what is this perceived gain that you
Right.
get over something? That's why I think people don't care about certain aspects. They care
Right.
about just a few, and we need to sort of broaden that just a little bit more.
It reminds me of another common argument that people bring up when they talk about vegetarianism. Oh, humans are meant to eat meat. You know, what happened, you know, when we were in the Ice Age? What's your theory when people come up with, will bring up things like that?
I have a couple of responses depending. One of them is like, well, so I always say, well, look at my stubby fingers, and I don't have any fangs. And if I was naked in the woods, you know, what could I catch? Because I have no claws, and I have no fangs. I mean, if you look at that like Rocky movie from the 70s, you know, he was training and he had to catch a chicken in an alley and he couldn't do it.
You stand still with some beef! Can't you catch your little chicken? Huh? Come on! Move your tail!
Feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
He couldn't catch a chicken with his bare hands because we're upright, we're bipedal mammalian species. We have long intestines, as many herbivore animals have long intestines. The carnivorous animals have shorter intestines. They expel the meat quickly from there's many physiological reasons to say that we're not carnivorous. The Ice Age argument is a debate. Did we start eating animals because of an Ice Age and that, you know, there was no gathering that we could do? We are designed to gather. An apple, no claws required, right there hanging in front of your eyes. It's colorful. I mean, it's written fruits and vegetables. They're practically pre-digested. Meat is harder on the body. It's shortened our lifespan. It stays in the system for 18 to Lord knows how many hours. I mean, there's people who have a hamburger still inside of them since the 80s, you know, that they've been carting around for all that time because they can't eliminate it. And so there's a lot of debate about should we or shouldn't we eat meat. You probably have to play that individually with each person you talk to. But the idea that we're supposed to, no.
Yeah.
And as for the animal, the pet food thing, I mean, I feed my dogs vegetarian dog food because, you know, and I know that they would, if they could catch something, they would because they have fangs and claws.
Yeah.
But I still think that me going to the store and buying a can and opening it in the fox chow or whatever it is, it seems a little off the sort of hunter, devourer, predator. It's like I'm getting it in a can and putting it in a bowl on the patio. Tuna's a funny one too because I don't know when cats started eating tuna. I mean, did they get a little canoe and go out and like somehow catch the tuna? I mean, when did we? How does the cat eat the tuna? I mean,
or milk too.
Or milk.
Yeah, unless it's from their mother or something. A lot of people say, you know, well, I tried being vegetarian, but I felt weak, or I needed more protein. Is a big thing.
Okay, well, the protein
myth
is
we all know about the protein myth, but
exhausting.
But some people really convince me sometimes that their bodies aren't meant to be vegetarian, and I always get a little stumped there. I'm like, are some people not able to be vegan? Are they not able to be vegetarian? I guess there's got to be some rare instances, but in general,
there are people who feel they will die if they don't have a cigarette. They have to have that cigarette. I need my coffee and cigarette. I need it. So you begin to say, okay, do you need your meat? Do you have to have your meat? Because you can condition the body. The body can go into a metamorphosis either way. You can go down this route, or you can go down this route. I mean, there's no protein cases of any protein deficiency in America. People are afraid of not getting enough protein, like they're terrified of it. And it's like, well, where are there people just dropping dead from like no protein? Is this like a death issue? No, number one cause of death is heart disease, literally the clogging of the heart. And the heart is at the center of it all. So heart disease points to what? Food is the culprit. Literally death by food. 2,500 Americans die of heart disease every day, 2,500 a day. It kills more people than AIDS, guns, crime, tobacco, alcohol, drugs, not wearing your seatbelt. I mean, natural disasters every day. But as Bill Maher says, death by food seems to be okay because it's so common. And in Harvey Diamond's book, Fit for Life, he talks about how we should live 140 years. If we live a vegetarian lifestyle, we live 70, half of that. We literally give ourselves all of our diseases on the end of a fork.
Especially when you watch a video like yours, you see how careless these people are when they're making your food, or not my food, but you know, meats and dairies and stuff, and you're just like, wow, like they just don't care. They're just trying to get a product out there. They don't care that they're killing an animal, dragging an animal, you know. Animals are miserable, stuck in cages. They don't care about this stuff, so they don't care what they're giving these animals and what's ultimately going to go into our bodies.
Well, the vegan door is not the health door.
Right.
It's the conscious door, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, you're concerned about the well-being of something, another species. It's beautiful. You actually have care for something that crosses species lines. And it's healthier. There's no question it's healthier. But there's tons of vegan junk food out there. There's brownies and cookies and cakes and sweets. But as I always say, that meal that you ate did not stop a beating heart.
Right.
Nothing had to die for that meal to go down. And that's moving on into a new level of consciousness. You're saying, I'm tired of living by killing. I'm tired of this world that seems to exist on death, seems to live on death. I'm choosing not to be a part of that.
The biggest thing when I became a vegan was it was almost like I woke up. You know, it's like uncovering the truth. You know, you're raised and you see these milk ads and your parents feed you meat, and you know, my parents did at least, and I was just kind of just eating and whatever tasted good. But when I became a vegan, it was almost like, wow, like there are a lot of things that I've been told that aren't true. I don't need to eat meat for protein. I don't need to drink milk to have calcium and have strong bones and all of this, and not just what it looks like. There's a lot of, you know, and even that act, I was so, you know, the Animal Enterprise Bill, I just found so fascinating because they're telling people not to expose companies for bad things that they're doing because they want them to profit off of that.
Animal Enterprise Terrorism Act. Well,
yeah.
late 2005, I think that was signed. If an animal enterprise, whatever that enterprise may be, whatever the product may be, whether it's food, what have you, if a whistleblower, a media campaign, a filmmaker, somebody gets inside and exposes what's going on in there, and that if that company can show a loss of profit due to the exposure of that, they can imprison. It's extraordinary. They can imprison the filmmaker.
So even if it's the truth, even if it's harmful to us and the environment.
Yeah. The corporations are pretty well set up. I mean, obviously, it's designed to protect them and let them keep doing whatever they're doing. Now, this is actually not that earth-shattering if you think of it, because they've been selling products that aren't really that healthy for a long time. If you look at aspartame, which is in bubble gum, it's literally a poison. It's like, how did that get? It's like saying, okay, every day I'm just gonna punch you. Not really hard, just like one little punch in the eye. That's all I'm gonna do. And we're like, okay, all right. And in all these foods, there's all this shit, all this stuff that's really totally unhealthy and killing people. We say in the film, it takes nothing away from a human to be kind to an animal. Nothing is lost because of it. Actually, the gains are immeasurable, really. When you begin to care about something, some people think that animals have no discernible voice, which isn't really true. If you have a pet at home and you're in the kitchen and you accidentally step on your dog's paw, they'll yelp and tell you, ooh, and so you know they feel pain, and they vocalize it. Alice Walker said that animals communicate very clearly, but generally they're ignored. And so the animals are squealing and screaming in the slaughterhouses. They're trying to say, hey, we're afraid, we're scared, we're in pain, and we generally ignore it. But when you, as you said, when you begin to be aware of these subtleties and you start to care about another species that has arguably not much of a voice, the next step is where you begin to care about the trees that have no discernible voice whatsoever. They make no peep whatsoever. And this is a great thing to begin to care beyond just your own little thing, to look beyond your front door and start to care about the well-being of others. Do
you have anything else to say about your upcoming film? Is it going to be easier to watch than Earthlings for people?
Yes, I think it'll be easier. It's not. I mean, there's a couple of heavy segments in it, but no, it's more of a philosophical film, and it's tough to make a film about a philosophy. How do you film a philosophy? But the inspiration I felt to make Earthlings was so inspired to make Earthlings that like, you got to do this, and it felt overwhelming. Same nagging inspiration with this thread, with Unity. So I'm listening to it, and I've been working on it for 2.5 years now.
Is there a third film too?
There's supposed to be a third one, yeah. Yeah, we have just No. We've just started the notes of that one. I'm so in the editing of Unity right now, but the third one, oh my God, it's gonna be fantastic. It's a nature film, but it's unlike anything. It's not so much green approach.
Well, I could talk to you forever about this, but we're probably running out of time. We got to get back to the festival.